This week in Nerf, a replacement to the XP180's Mosfets and a briefcase blaster. I'm Jangular, and this is your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. Diving right in, like I mentioned, there may be a new motor to replace the XP180's coming out, or I shouldn't say coming out, is out, and that is the Monkey Mod's Titan Cronus-X. And while this isn't a direct replacement for the XP180's, it is offering pretty high performance as listed. It is listed with the highest torque available currently. Now, this is a 183S motor. That is different from a 182S motor. You aren't going to be able to use that same battery pack. But this is an option that Monkey Mods is offering. They are $7 per motor. And I know people are pretty excited about these because of the torque numbers and just similar potential performance. I haven't seen much yet from users that have gotten their hands on them, just general positive things so far. Now, there is a little bit of controversy between the whole neodymium magnets or rare earth magnets as listed as what they actually are, but regardless, there's magnets in them and the magnets do some good stuff. I'm not going to get into the whole technical, and there's much more qualified people to talk about those things than me, but performance so far from what I've seen from people that have had them in hand is that they are performing well. We don't have like hard numbers or anything concrete yet as to whether or not these are performing up to 180 XP180 snuff or what the exact spin-up time is compared to, say, Fangs. But the numbers and the data sheets do suggest they have a higher torque and really, really good performance. So I'm looking forward to seeing more concrete stuff come out from more and more users as they get their hands on them. And we can really see what's going to be done with these Cronus-X motors. So that is definitely something cool. Like I mentioned last week, I like when Nerf companies, third-party Nerf companies get their hands on motors and really push the motor market and push the gear market and everything away from just the first-party manufacturers, or in terms of motors, pushing us away from having to look into other hobby motors that we don't know what kind of supply they have, that we may run them out, which has happened multiple times in terms of Michelle 1.0s, Banshees, XP180s now. So it's something that was not uncommon in the Nerf hobby, and it really makes me happy to see these motors coming out with such a steady pace. They continue to get better and better and better, and it's great for the community as a whole. Now, it may not be great for the motors that are obsoleted by certain things, if there's excess surplus on them, but hopefully we're in the positive overall with the, I guess you could call it a motor race, as it were. But I think that's a really cool thing. I'm glad Monkey Mods has continued to push. That will continue to push Foam Blast, MTB, and other motor companies to continue to improve and do better, which in the end is great for us. It's great for the consumer, it's great for the hobby, and I love that. So I very well be getting a pair of these at some point in the future as well to see, you know, if I want to do a 180 build, these are probably the 180 motors to go with currently. Now, moving on, you may want a flywheel cage to put those motors in, and Containment Crew has a new set of cages called their containment cages. Now, these are different from the proto cages that they have licensed from Black Steel Props, in that these go in more than just the strife. These fit multiple blasters. They have multiple, I shouldn't say it fits multiple blasters, I should say they have multiple builds for different blasters. And as a great thing, they also offer two different crush varieties, 42 millimeters and 43 millimeters. 43 being closer to stock, 42 being a little bit higher crush, kind of in that middle ground, not super high crush, but definitely higher than stock. This is a cool thing as well because, again, options. I like options. Options breed great things. Something else worth noting with these is that they do work with the Nerf faux barrel. The Nerf, I shouldn't say faux barrel, but the Nerf barrels. So you don't have to put brass, and you don't have to do all the crazy stuff that may be necessary with other things that may take a little bit more time or require more investment from people. If you're a little more casual and don't want to invest a ton of time but want to have a drop-in cage that doesn't require a bunch of extra work, this may be the way to go about it. So that is something definitely to consider. These are running for $16 a piece, which is not a bad price at all, in my opinion, for a flywheel cage. And again, you get that different variable crush, kind of like the OFP cages. So I think this is really cool. I like options. I feel like the theme of this episode so far is options, is driving the market forward. And it's so good for the community as a whole. I'm going to keep pressing that, is that, you know, you may look at it as, oh, it's competition, people are stepping on others' foots and everything, but so many products that can be done in this Nerf market currently, and with multiple groups driving them forward, there is going to be competition, and competition is a good thing. It's not something that's like, oh, I'm the only person that can do this thing. No, you can do it your way, and you can build your customer base, you can do those things, but if someone is there to push you to do more and do better, then not only do you improve, but your product gets better, and because of that, your customer base grows. So to me, it's a win-win-win pretty much everywhere. So I love that there are more cages, more motors, more flywheels, more options. I think it's a great thing. But it's enough of me preaching about my thoughts on the third-party Nerf market. Let's move on to a guide that was posted on Reddit by Mingbat, and this is the complete Nerf Mosfet guide, and I love this. You guys know I'm big on community resources, and this is an awesome one. It is a massive write-up on what Mosfets are, how to use them, how to wire them, what the proper ones are, where to get them, every little detail you may be curious about in terms of Mosfets. This probably has it. It's fantastic. It has bits you can skip if you don't want all the detailed information. It has extra information for those that want to know all the little technical details. I think this is fantastic, and it's just a great resource for our community, and I am super appreciative that they went ahead and did this. I hope it stays pinned or put up somewhere where it's easily accessible by people that want to have access to this, because it is a fantastic community resource, and thank you for doing it and contributing to this community in a wonderful way. That's going to bring us to our mod of the week, which comes to us from Mr. Heath Pants, and this, oh, it's awesome. This is a break action hammer shot. Not only is this break action, so it pops open like, you know, a sledge fire, but it also is rear loading, or you can just swap the cylinder out and it looks like a friggin' hand cannon. It's so cool. The lines on it are great. The bodywork on it, it's just so good. It's just so good. It looks fantastic. Go check it out. Look at the Reddit post. Look at the Imager links. Check it out. See all the work that went into it and just the fantastic end product that he wound up with. Because it's cool. It's really cool, and I dig it, and I am so happy to be able to share it with all of you because it's a fantastic mod and a fantastic piece of work. Now, our video of the week comes to us from Thunderdome Doc, which is another mod. It's definitely a really fun one. It's the Desperado briefcase. Now, if any of you have seen Desperado, it's a movie where some of the characters have guns in like guitar cases and whatnot. And so they went ahead and made a briefcase with a Nerf blaster inside of it that works so well. Like, just the way they integrated the trigger, super cool. And they have already plans to revise it further and add other functions. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to let you guys go watch that video because it's cool. It's cool. To both the video and the mod of the week are both great mods, and I was like, I gotta be able to talk about both of them because they're both so cool. I had a little like just a little squeal of like awesomeness when I saw the video of the briefcase blaster because it's such a cool idea. It's yeah, you just go check it out. Go check it out. The link for that and everything else is going to be down below. Actually, it's also going to be right here because we are at the end of the video now. So let me know what you thought of everything in today's episode. The new motors, the new cages, the Mosfet guide. Have you thought about using a Mosfet? Are you going to use a Mosfet now? Maybe now that you have access to an awesome guide. The break action hammer shot and the briefcase blaster. Let me know your thoughts down below on all of them. And if you're new to the channel and enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button for more in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jangular, and I'll see you next time.